For review today is the Himiway Escape, an electric moped-style e-bike that is totally unique and unlike any... Oh man, I couldn't even get through the first line. Alright, so obviously the Himiway Escape is a total rip-off of the juiced Scorpion, a famous moped-style e-bike. Now the only question is, how good of a rip-off is it? I want to start by letting the Himiway Escape here stand on its own and judging it first based on what it offers, not just on how it compares. We'll get there though, don't worry. For starters, we'll dive right into the specs, which start with a 750 watt motor in the rear here, built right into a mag wheel. That powers the Escape up to around 22 miles an hour or so, or 35 kilometers per hour. That's the speed right out of the box. If you want to go into the settings though and unlock it, that's on you. But then you can get up to at least 28 miles per hour or 45 kilometers per hour, which as you can imagine is pretty darn fast, but also pretty darn fun. For battery, we've got a frame-concealed 48 volt and 14 amp hour battery for 672 watt hours of capacity. Now Himiway will tell you that equals 45 plus miles of range. But that must be with a very low pedal assist setting because I usually got closer to around 2/3 of that range with a mixture of pedal assist and throttle, though if we're being honest, probably mostly throttle. Now the cadence-based pedal assist does work fine, but the seat is not movable, and so you're not exactly in the best position here for optimal pedal strokes. Even so, if you want to pedal this thing, you definitely can. I just hope I don't run out of battery on it in the middle of a ride, because this 92-pound e-bike is going to be pretty heavy to pedal back, though that 7-speed transmission will at least help you drop into low gear and keep it manageable. Back to the components here for a bit. We've got hydraulic disc brakes, both front and rear, and they clamp down on some nice big 180mm rotors, so it's definitely got some good braking force, which is again going to be important for a heavy bike like this. I also really like the nice big display in the center of the bars here. It's right up front and it's easy to see even while you're riding fast. We've got front and rear LED lighting built in that runs off the main battery, just like you'd expect on any decent moped-style e-bike. And there's also front and rear suspension. Now it's just spring suspension, so don't get too excited, we don't have any fancy dampers here, but it works just fine for our getting around town style of riding here, and can even take you on a bit of off-roading without shaking your spine loose. So all in all, it's got a good mix of specs and components here, especially for the price of $16.99. That's a pretty mid-tier price in the e-bike industry, and yet you get a lot for your dollar. Not only is it a functional electric moped with that classic step-through full suspension frame and mag wheels, but you also get a powerful motor, fast speeds, a decently large battery, good hydraulic brakes, utility with a rack and fenders. I mean, there's a lot here, and the bike doesn't just offer up features, it also offers up performance as well. So like we talked about, this is of course a copy of the juiced Scorpion, and you know, rip-offs aren't supposed to be very good, but here's the thing guys, this e-bike is really good. I mean, it's not as good as the Scorpion, of course. I mean, there are big differences. The frame isn't as rugged, the parts aren't as nice, you know, the tires aren't as good, the battery cells probably aren't as good, the suspension isn't as good. There are big differences here. The lighting isn't as good, but you know, if I'm not comparing this to the Scorpion, if I'm just judging it on its own merits, I would say that, you know, this is a really well-made e-bike. It's a lot of fun, it handles nicely, it's a great e-bike. I'm really surprised because I went into this review without very high expectations because I figured, you know, a copycat product can't be that great, but it's a pretty great e-bike. Price-wise, it only undercuts the Scorpion by $100 based on the current prices, though those prices are seemingly always in flux, so you'll want to check whatever the current price is today. So you're only saving a bit by going with the Himiway Escape, and you do give up some build quality and also the backing of a long-standing company like Juiced, but some people are going to call that a good trade in exchange for a few things the Scorpion doesn't have, like for example the higher speed on throttle-only operation and that larger display. Whether or not those trade-offs are worth it is something only you can answer. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that review of the Himiway Escape electric moped. If you did, why don't you give this video a thumbs up? And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our future electric vehicle videos. I'll see you here next time.